Oh, welcome in on a Monday. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. I've had it with Sister Jean, but more on that later. Let's settle in with a little Final Four discussion. Michigan gets it done Saturday. Thought they played as poorly as you could possibly imagine, but I told you, you had no shot of losing that game because the other team was coached by a sock puppet. Leonard Hamilton is an atrocity. I thought Michigan, in many ways, tried to lose that game. But you were never going to lose it. And I know it got a little scary at the end. Some of them missed free throws. I know we're going to end up talking about that as the week goes along. But you survive and you advance. And I think that's the whole point, and it's what I've said since the beginning of the tournament. Oh, my God, they didn't play well against Houston. Oh, we didn't play well against Montana. Look, good teams have a knack that when they're not playing their best, they're still able to get it done and get through. It's exactly what this team does. I'm not going to sit here and knock their journey. I'm not going to sit here and knock the seedings. I know that's becoming a narrative. I said this on Friday. I will say it again. I do not want Spartan fans embarrassing themselves by talking about, well, they haven't played a top 5 seed. You know what? Stop. They're playing. We're not. This team is able to go out and not play remotely close to their best and still win. You know what it means? They're good. They're really good. And what people need to start to realize is they have one of the 5 to 7 best college coaches in America. This is legitimate. John Beilein is real. The last 6 years, he has now gone to his second Final Four. They've gone to 4 Sweet 16s. They seemingly are in the Elite 8 every other year. And I'll tell you this. It's what we talked about before you played Texas A&M, and you lined up kind of this A&M, Florida State, Gonzaga double dip. I had very little doubt you would get to the Final Four, and now Loyola is there for you when you play them. You're prohibitive favorites over them again. And yes, people, being a 5-6 point favorite in a college game, that's a big favorite. Most tournament spreads, 2 points, 2.5. It's the same deal over Florida State. You know, you are expected to win these games. And if Michigan comes out and plays remotely well, you'll beat Loyola by double digits. And you will play for a national championship next Monday night, a week from tonight. I think that's the goal. Like, that's the minimum now. If you want to call up and tell me and wax poetic about what a journey and the season's a success already, you can do whatever you want. It's a free country. I just think it's kind of soft. You're here. Like, you have the opportunity, and it's so rare, to play for a national championship. Anything can happen in 40 minutes. Anything. As this tournament has shown you. You cannot come this far and fall short. And I don't think they will. But the narrative building about, well, you know, they played all, what is it? Loyola's an 11, and Florida State's a 9, and Houston's a 6. And you know what? I don't care. I do not care. You don't control those things. And I know we're hearing it locally because you have a bitter fan base of mine, and I apologize, Wolverine fans. I can't control them. But to me, if you get to a Final Four, I don't care who you play. I don't care where you play. I don't care what the scores of the games are. I don't care if you need a buzzer beater. I don't care about any of that stuff. It's so freaking hard to do what Michigan's done. You got to respect it. And if you don't want to, then maybe you shouldn't participate in the conversation. And I brought this up on Thursday. I'll bring it up again now. As it relates to our dialogue locally, yes, I do believe Michigan basketball has surpassed MSU as the program in this state. Yes, the last 6 years, they have. They are doing more, doing it more often, and, oh, by the way, beating us straight up. Way more than we're beating them. Okay? So let's just call it what it is. Michigan has ascended to take the perch. And now to Final Four, we get a week of buildup. I know what it's going to be. I'm going to have to sit here and listen about Sister Jean this and Sister Jean that. I read this morning Loyola has now allowed or whatever you want to call, copyrighted her likeness, copyrighted her name, and they are going to be selling all types of Sister Jean memorabilia. It's disgusting.
I'm going to San Antonio.
Oh, my. It's disgusting, but I'll tell you what's worse. You people will buy it. That's the only reason this is happening. But whatever, I'll try to keep it to a minimum with Sister Jean and Loyola. Look, nice story. I'm sure she's a lovely woman. But you know what I'd prefer at this point? Talk about Porter Moser. Talk about Custer. Talk about their players. Talk about the team. I'm so sick of the sideshow. I got friends who can't name the coach or a player on Loyola, but you know what they know? They know Sister Jean. That's disgusting. But we'll get to it. You and Loyola on one side, Nova, Kansas on the other. You know, yes, I think if you want to win a national championship, I'd probably want Kansas before I want Nova. I think Nova can beat you more ways. They can play whatever game you want to play. You want to win 54-53, they'll do that. Get in a track meet, they can do that. You zone them up, they can nail you from the perimeter. You play some man, they'll hit you on the inside. Nova's you want to root for Kansas. But I do. I don't hope, or if I'm a fan, I'm not hoping Michigan gets to Monday. It's Monday or bust. And then whatever happens Monday, all bets are off. There's no ripping. There's no criticizing. There's no nothing. You get to Monday and you take your shot. I think if you, in the college game, you do what Michigan's done and you get to Monday and then you want to criticize what a team does, I just think you're kind of dumb. It's so hard to get there. And if Michigan gets there and they win it, that takes care of itself. If they don't, what are you going to say? Honestly, I won't be able to criticize them. I think it'd be ridiculous. But right here, right now, I mean, we talked about this at the start of the tournament. I gave Michigan a way better shot to go to the Final Four than State. I've been proven right in that regard. No, I didn't expect the path to look the way it did, but it doesn't matter. There have been years that State's done heavy lifting. There's been other years State hasn't. That's the tournament. I think criticizing teams for that, it's weak. It's just a very salty, bitter, butthurt disposition. I'm not going to do it. And if you're a State fan deep down, you know you shouldn't be doing it. It's okay to respect your rival when they accomplish things. Michigan right now is at an unbelievable year. John Beilein has put on a show with player scouting, with development, launching game plans, and playing different styles of games. Games where his team, like Saturday night, went, I think, 4 of 22 from deep or 4 of 23, didn't do well at the free throw line, had scoring droughts. He's able to get this team through. And then on that big turnaround, he came out, and this team, whatever levers he pulled, they played the best game of the tournament against A&M. Beilein has been a maestro. It's been beautiful. So we get a week of build-up to it. I know it's opening day. I know we'll do a lot of other stuff this week, but my hat's off to U of M. It's an unbelievable season. It's a quality team. They play together. They play the right way. They don't turn it over. They play great D. I know they got to shoot better. I know they've had a couple of games where they're off. They haven't shot well. But overall, if you're asking me, do they have a chance to win this whole thing? Like more than not a chance. I mean, technically, Loyola has a chance. But, yeah, I mean, a big part of the chance is getting to Monday. Honestly, like if you really think about it, you've got a better chance than Villanova or Kansas because you don't have to play the other team just to get to Monday. And I do believe on Monday night, if you come out and play your best game, your best, you play the way you played against A&M, nobody's beating you. Not Nova, not Kansas, nobody. You will have to ratchet it up. But my only requirement, if I'm a fan, just get there. And then what happens, happens. You've accomplished the mission. And that is 40 minutes, one game, anything can happen, and you get a shot to hang the ultimate banner. So, kind of my take on it. No cute question. I'm sure this fervent fan base will dial in 248-539-9797. Get some of the people in the mix. In a moment, hey.